Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit, and we are continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the Daily Office Lectionary. And I thought for today, for Tuesday, we would take a look at the lesson that's assigned from the book of the prophet Ezra. Now, we know that Isaiah and Jeremiah are kind of the big wig prophets when it comes to stories of the diaspora, when the people of the Jews were, because of their disobedience to God, were cast out of the land of Israel and were sent into Babylon. God allowed the Babylonians to conquer. So Ezra is also writing during this time period. They all kind of overlap in a chronology. The Bible does not go kind of chronologically necessarily in time, but has different books covering from different angles and different occasions. The book of the prophet Ezra deals with this time period. And we have a very interesting section here where we find out that there was a period of time where it had been decreed by the Babylonian leaders that, in fact, the house of God should be rebuilt, and it wasn't. So then we hear about this great king Darius, or Darius, depends on how you want to pronounce it, who then realizes exactly what is supposed to go on according to God's will. Again, he's a pagan. He is the leader of Babylon. He is not a member of the original covenant. Ezra chapter 6, beginning at verse 1. Then Darius the king made a decree, and a search was made in the house of the rolls where the treasures were laid up in Babylon. And there was found at Achmetha in the palace that is in the province of Medes a roll, and therein was a record thus written. In the first year of the king of Cyrus the king, the same Cyrus the king made a decree concerning the house of God at Jerusalem. Let the house be builded, the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundations thereof be strongly laid, and the height thereof 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 80 cubits, with 3 rows of great stones, and a row of new timber, and let the expenses be given out of the king's house. And also let the gold and the silver vessels of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took forth out of the temple which is in Jerusalem, be brought unto Babylon, be restored, and then brought again into the temple which is at Jerusalem, everyone to his place, and place them in the house of God. Now therefore, Tatnai the governor beyond the river, Shethar-boznai and your companions, which are beyond the river, be far from thence. Let the work of this house of God alone. Let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews build the house of God in this place. Moreover, I make a decree that ye shall do to the elders of the Jews for the building of this house of God, that of the king's goods, even of the tribute beyond the river, forthwith expenses be given unto these men, that they be not hindered. And that which they have need of, both young bullocks and rams and lambs, for the burnt offerings of the God of heaven, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the appointment of the priests which are in Jerusalem, let it be given them day by day, without fail, that they may offer sacrifices of sweet savors unto the God of heaven, and pray for the life of the king and of his sons. Also I have made a decree that whosoever shall alter this word, let timber be pulled down from this house, and being set up, let him be hanged thereon, and let this house be made a dunghill for this. And the God that caused his name to dwell there destroy all kings and people that shall put to their hand to alter and destroy this house of God, which is at Jerusalem. I, Darius, have made a decree. Let it be done with speed. So it's interesting to see that because of how God has intervened for the people of the original covenant, even when they're in the foreign lands, these potentates of the other peoples recognize that he is the God of heaven. And for this, out of fear, more fear than respect, they wanted to restore the house. Now we know as we go forward that things will not be as smooth as that, as if he just makes the decree and it happens. But that's why we have the account of scriptures for us to follow along and to see how God is at work and the people of the original covenant respond to it, good and bad. So today's Tuesday, Holy Communion 12:15, and then of course we have the opportunity for us to pray evening prayer as well tomorrow, Tuesday. And so I do hope that your day today is full of blessings.